On Billboard tonight, James Trowsdale on cultural development in North East Lincolnshire. Best-selling author Ron Telford talks about his new book, Middle Waters, and the results of the 2023 Hammond House International Literary Prize. Welcome to Billboard with me, Ted Stanley, for our Christmas edition of Arts and Entertainment in East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire. If you're still looking for a last-minute Christmas present, journalist and broadcaster Hugh Riches has some literary recommendations.
Thanks, Ted, and we start with a couple of books that might have been published now only coincidentally for Christmas. Both authors are women of some talent, though one much more than the other. Both sufferers of some mental and emotional difficulties, personalities clearly far from robust. Both perhaps traumatized by the domination of men who have exploited their trust. I speak, of course, of Britney Spears and Nadine Dorries. Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me, gives her own view of a remarkable music career with some remarkable music and of her conservatorship in which her father took control of her life and her money, and her recovery, we hope, from great anguish. It would be easy to mock a vulnerable millionaire loved by the world, but this book is revealing, honest, cheerful, and surprisingly funny. Nadine Dorries' book, The Plot, is also very funny, but not intentionally. The former cabinet minister and Boris Johnson disciple tells of a conspiracy to overthrow him, planned by a sinister inner cabal of secret remainers in the Tory party. Shady, though unnamed, figures, plutocrats and deceitful statesmen combined in a smirch-like organisation to bring down an honest, competent and idealistic Prime Minister. For the sake of us all, let's hope they did. They say Christmas is for children, though I don't know why, unless children are even more greedy and acquisitive than the rest of us. I really am like this. Lottie Brooks returns this year, the mischievous but perceptive young heroine created by Katie Kirby. In her completely chaotic Christmas, she makes it clear what she wants from Santa. Quite rightly, she wants a brother who doesn't fart tasty air biscuits and chocolate oranges, not real ones. She's a girl after my own heart. Finally, for this year, Christmas is a time for rebirth and spiritual renewal, so as ever, I recommend the Viz annual The Barber's Pole. It offers all our favourites, Roger Melly, the man on the telly who says lots of words, Sid the sexist, the fat slags, and the ever-tragic Black Bag, the faithful border bin liner. I wouldn't bother with mince pies without it. Much superb publishing this year, Ted, and a lot of that in the last few months. It'll still be on the shelves or under the drones when I pick a few New Year's treasures in 24.
Thank you, Hugh. More literary news later in the programme when we announce the results of the 2023 Hammond House International Literary Prize. The Create North East Lincolnshire team are working with local creatives to transform the cultural landscape of the region. I caught up with James Trowsdale, the strategic lead for culture, to find out more.
I think sometimes we collectively forget what a great place we live and work in. A lot of the work which we're trying to do is amplify that, consider that, think about what has happened in the past and how that shapes what we're trying to do in the future. I think heritage is absolutely critical. We've also been supported by Heritage Fund, so we created the Heritage Network working closely with Heritage Lincolnshire, which has enabled the heritage sector to come together, and that has enabled the foundations for other projects to grow as well, where we've given small grants out to people for them to have little pilot projects, test what works, and then that's got the foundations for additional investment coming in and supporting bigger projects. So those include one with a football club, looking at the football club's history, Grimfowl Fest, and there's also a project at Wheelsby Hall. Which again, the foundations and building the evidence and building the engagement about what needed to happen there led to a successful funding bid which they're now growing and doing additional work, which could and should lead to multi-million-pound investment in the building and fabric of Wilsby Hall and beyond. The heritage is incredibly interwoven with our sense of place, our sense of pride. So we've recently moved from Grimsby Creates to Create North East Lincolnshire for a few different reasons. And Create North East Lincolnshire is broader and it's deeper and it's more meaningful in the way that we're talking about culture and heritage across North East Lincolnshire. So we want to really showcase creative activity and highlight that the whole place is a creative place, and there are lots more creative people living and working and visiting North East Lincolnshire than we can ever imagine, and we just need to kind of keep amplifying that as best as we possibly can do, and that amplification creates more success. We're really interested in our heritage and our green future, and we're also interested in digital innovation as well. And what we're also really keen to do is connect and put Grimsby and Cleethorpes on the national and international map.
You can watch the full interview with James Trowsdale on the Heritage Channel. Music now and some of the best live gigs around the region brought to you this month by journalist Elise Ballard.
Local party band Drop the Accent bring their 50s rock and roll, rockabilly and modern covers to the Willows in Grimsby on Saturday the 23rd of December. You can celebrate New Year's Eve at O'Reilly's in Hull with the Fat Spaniels and Roll the Dice, two of the finest cover bands in the region. Also on New Year's Eve, Killer Rhapsody and Night of Queen return to Cottingham Civic Hall to perform the greatest hits and deepest cuts from Freddie Mercury and Queen. For something more gentle, you can enjoy a Viennese whirl with the Orchestra of Opera North at Hull New Theatre. The selection of Strauss family polkas, marches and waltzes is sprinkled with romantic delights from Dvorak, Brahms and a Gershwin gem to mark the composer's 125th year. Moving into the new year now, and Edwina Hayes, one of the country's finest musical talents, brings together English folk, Americana and the rich northern singer-songwriter tradition to create a sound that's truly her own. You can see her at the East Riding Theatre in Beverley on Saturday the 13th of January.
Something in your eyes makes me wanna lose myself.
And finally, on Friday the 12th of January, Grimsby Auditorium brings us Hello Again, the Neil Diamond Songbook. Using evocative imagery, video and narration to enhance the magic, this acclaimed production will take you on a musical journey through Neil Diamond's glittering 50-year career.
Because I've got boobs and it's because it's good for me and my baby.
I breastfeed because I wanted to.
She needs the bonding, she needs to feel safe. Breastfeeding does all that.
Initially that bond was just absolutely phenomenal.
I breastfeed because it is very empowering.
Breast milk is amazing and it's designed for me and my baby.
I breastfeed my baby.
And me.
And me.
And us.
Coming up on tonight's show, author Ron Telford and the results of the International Literary Prize. But first, a review of the latest film releases with actress and broadcaster Liz Drury.
On Film Review tonight, a powerful new film from Martin Scorsese, and the deeply moving All of Us Strangers. But first, Napoleon, an epic historical biopic about one of history's most powerful figures that showcases the extraordinary directing skills of Ridley Scott. The battle scenes are grand, monumental and strikingly immersive, but despite an outstanding performance from Joaquin Phoenix, the film barely gets beneath the surface of Napoleon the man. Still, a spectacular if somewhat brutal experience, and surprisingly funny, in fact very funny at times.
All of Europe is uniting forces against me.
What's the outcome of this if you don't succeed?
Your Majesty, we are discovered.
All of Us Strangers from director Andrew Haigh is a deeply moving film about loss and loneliness with a quartet of breathtaking performances. Hello. A chance encounter with a mysterious neighbour in his London tower block punctures the rhythm of Dave's everyday life. He's drawn back to the suburban town where he grew up, where his parents appear to be living just as they were on the day they died 30 years before.
You think he'd like to be in love with him?
I'd always fall in love. This is a new feeling.
You and me together.
Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon justifies its 3.5-hour runtime with gorgeous cinematography, a powerful narrative and captivating performances from Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. Set in 1920s Oklahoma, this engrossing love story plays out against a series of murders, revealing how Indigenous people have been victims of the shadow side of American society.
I was sent down from Washington, D.C. to see about these murders.
See what about them?
See who's doing it.
Tom Hanks and director Robert Zemeckis reunite for Warner's Polar Express, an inspiring adventure based on the popular children's book by Chris Van Allsburg. When a doubting young boy takes an extraordinary train ride to the North Pole, he embarks on a journey of self-discovery that shows him that the wonder of life never fades for those who believe.
Do not try that at home. Do not try that at home.
Just remember, the true spirit of Christmas lies in your heart.
On DVD and Blu-ray, A Haunting in Venice, The Unlikely Pilgrimage and No Way Out are also worth a look.
Best-selling author Ron Telford has been sharing his tales of life as a trawlerman with his fascinating tours of the Ross Tiger and his first book, Northern Waters. His new book, Middle Waters, continues this fascinating story of the men who risked their lives to put fish on the table.
I started fishing in about 1965, 66. During the school holidays, a man came to my grandmother's house and, unbeknown to me, he was a trawler skipper. And he said to me, "What are you doing then, lad?" I says, "Nothing, I'm just messing about on a beach, etc." He says, "Do you want to come to sea? I can go on a trawler." And I went on the Gillingham. And the man's name was Trevor Bascom, a big fishing family and all. And I went pleasure tripping and I was hooked. I helped on the deck. You didn't realise that the men worked 18 hours a day and 6 hours sleep. If you can imagine a whale with its mouth wide open, you've got a weight on one side which keeps the net on the bottom and the flotation that keeps it open. And that's how we catch fish, pull it along the seabed. On a trawler, we had an echo sounder. It showed you the bottom of the seabed, and it's tried to distinguish the feed from the bottom of the seabed and the fish. And it's more or less impossible. It's just see something there. If you catch fish, a bonus. No fish, try somewhere else. Say for an instance now, we're fishing outside Grimsby, no fish there. We'll move to Immingham, no fish there. We'll move to Aberdeen. So we wait till the fish comes aboard, and once you catch the fish, would you tell your brother that you're catching fish who's alongside you? The answer is no. Get as much fish as you can yourself, then tell other people, because that fish won't stop there. As soon as another boat will come alongside, that fish will scatter. Up to 6 men then would stand there hours on end, cleaning the fish into the washing machine, which went down the chute and through an escape hatch into the fish room. And then the men would put the fish away in different boxes down the fish room, or different squares, because we're catching cod, haddock, whiting and coltley. You have wooden boards, and you lay the fish down like sardines in a tin, and then you cover the fish completely with ice. Do another layer of fish, more ice. Another layer of fish, ice, set of boards, and repeat the process. I started fishing in 1965, and I was still fishing up to 92, 94, because we were fishing down at the Falklands. And it's the last staying trawler out of Grimsby, and they called it the Safco Endeavour. And it was half Grimsby lads and half Hull crew. About 9 years ago, decided to call it a day, hang up my stockings or my boots and such, and I retired. Then I got a phone call out of the blue. Did I want to be a tour guide? And I just laughed. And the wife says, go on, give it a go. And I've been doing it for 5 years now. Grimsby was the biggest fishing port. We had up to about 500 ships, about 7,000 men working on the docks. And all we've got now is Ross Tiger. A lot of how things are now, people, kids and things are not bothered about fishing, but when they've done a tour of the Ross Tiger, they completely change. They realise where fish comes from. Their great-grandparents in Grimsby. You don't realise how many people involved in fishing in Grimsby, but to give the knowledge back and the history of the fishing industry, that's what we're trying to do. The wife said to me, what about writing when you first started? And I wrote that about, say, nearly 18 months ago, 2 years ago, and I became #1 bestseller on Amazon, Northern Waters. The settled book is called Middle Waters, and that is all complete. After Christmas, I'm going to start writing about deep water. And the deep water is my time going down to the Falklands, fishing for squid and other species. Lots of people have private messaged me and says, Ron, thanks so much for these memories, because you've rekindled all the memories that I thought I'd forgotten. Yeah, it's important, we don't lose this heritage. Grimsby fishing port, like I keep saying, but we don't lose that.
Middle Waters and Northern Waters are available now from the Fishing Heritage Centre and Ocean Fish Bar in Grimsby, the Hammond House Gallery in Louth, and from all good online and high street booksellers. The 2023 Hammond House International Literary Prize, sponsored by the University Centre Grimsby, attracted a record number of entries from around the world, hoping to win cash prizes and inclusion in the 2024 anthologies. The shortlist was published earlier this month, and the judges gathered together for the challenging task of choosing the winners. Here are the results. In the script writing category, highly commended was Catharsis from Rochelle Potkar from Mumbai in India. In third place, In or Out from Nikki Deneban from Reading in the UK. In second place, The Incident from Elizabeth Carroll, also from Reading in the UK. And in first place, and winner of the scriptwriting category, The Horsewoman from Jessica Cotterell from Bromsgrove in the United Kingdom. In the songwriting song lyrics category, highly commended were Kingdoms Have Gone by Wayfair Manoir from Cambridge and Handyman from Celia Hinton in London. In third place, Over the Moon by Peter Ludgate from Sherborne in the United Kingdom. In second place, Hey God, So What's the Hurry from Jim Danielson from Austin in Texas. And in third place and winner of the song lyrics category, The Cloak by Michael Pettit from Cape Town, South Africa. In the performed songs category, highly commended were Over the Moon by Peter Ludgate from Sherborne and Down Dot No More by David Everton from Cleethorpes. In third place, Prison Rain by Alan Mitchell from North Thoresby. In second place, Salam Shalom by Linda Barrett from Epping. And in first place, and the winner of the performed songs category, Back to Burnskoe by Elaine Irabuka from Stroud. In the poetry category, highly commended are Bathing the Tyrant from Glenn Wilson in Portadown, Scattering Your Ashes by Richard Birtle from Grimsby, Stopping the Bleeding by Lucy Crispin from Ray, and The Fugitive by Ronald Attilano from Cardiff, New South Wales in Australia. In third place, High Tide by Dave Curley from Santiago da Garda in Portugal. In second place, If the Night Had Hands from Grace Copeland in Sunderland, United Kingdom. And in first place and winner of this year's poetry category, The Purple Dress by Vasiliki Albedo from Athens in Greece. In the very popular short story category, highly commended were Touching the Honeyslow River by John Irving Clark from Wakefield, Fitting In by Sally Curtis from Poole, Old Fast by Naomi Elster from London, Once Upon a Crime by B.B. Lawson from Arlington, Virginia, Electra by Avi McCann from Galleve in Ireland, Young Thugs by John P. McKenney from Brooklyn, New York, and The Magician, A Bridge Too Far from Simon Wood in Grimsby. In third place, Where My Body Meets the Water by Christina Kerr from London. In second place, Pigs and Paint by Letty Butler from Sheffield. And in first place and winner of the 2023 short story category, It's Your Call Baby from Madeline Armstrong in Beckenham. If you didn't feature in the winners or shortlisted entries, you may still have a chance to be included in the anthologies as a judge's choice or editor's choice of international entries, which will be announced in January. Prizes will be awarded at our annual literary festival in February. Entertainment news now with actress and broadcaster Gemma Lidgard.
Cheers, Ted. It's that time of year again where pantomime is back. No, you're not going to get me to say it. Oh, no, you're not. We're starting us off at the Blackfriars Theatre in Boston from the 9th to the 31st of December is Peter Pan. This traditional pantomime is a mixture of laughter, mayhem and misunderstanding as Peter Pan takes us on a journey to Neverland to do battle with the infamous Captain Hook. At the New Theatre Royal in Lincoln from the 8th of December to the 7th of January is Aladdin. It's set to be another fabulous production with a vibrant set, colourful costumes, huge dance routines, sensational vocals and perfect comedy timing. Over at Skegness's Embassy Theatre from the 15th to the 28th of December is Snow White. Join our beautiful princess with lips as red as rose and skin white as snow, who finds herself running from her wicked stepmother and taking refuge in the forest with 7 friendly dwarfs. From the 9th to the 30th of December is Jack and the Beanstalk over at Grimsby's Auditorium. This family-friendly, unmissable production features magic and make-believe side-splitting antics, stunning costumes, scenery and sensational song and dance, with plenty of chances for you to join in the fun, cheering the champions and booing the baddie. Why don't you follow Jack and his fun-filled adventure this festive season? And finally, Beauty and the Beast is coming to Bridlington Spa from the 13th of December to the 2nd of January. So get ready to be spellbound with this tale as old as Panto time, when a magical sorceress transforms the handsome Count into a frightening beast. Only true love can break the spell, so join Belle and a host of larger-than-life characters for a fast-paced pantomime packed with family fun, music and dance. It's gonna be a beast.
Well, that's all for this festive edition of Billboard. You can keep up to date with the latest news on our Facebook page. And to make sure you don't miss any of our programmes, click the subscribe button below. If you have a story you would like us to feature on Billboard, email details to news@billboardtv.uk. The latest programme on the Heritage Channel includes a special feature on the Armed Forces in North East Lincolnshire. You can watch it now on the Heritage Channel Facebook group or YouTube channel. From everyone on the Billboard team, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next year for more entertainment news, entertaining guests and great music. Have a great Christmas, everybody.
We wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I just want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
This Christmas to your